Alright. I am not Tom. Still not financial advice. Let's see if that... Yeah, I'm fine
Are we
with
live?
Alright, we're live. Just for a
Hello?
second, Mr. Tech Support's going to fix 2 more things. And wait for the viewers to come back. Then I'm going to delete the old one. The dog is puking right now, which sucks. Can you kick a towel over her, please? And it's on the floor. Never mind. Alright. Technical difficulties. Still 0 viewers. So, I remain completely anonymous. No one knows who I am. Alright. Sit.
Are you doing a house spin or just go?
Just go. We'll go for 30 minutes and if we don't have viewers by then.
That's perfect.
What is this?
And we're back!
Hello, Tom.
Hello, George. Can you hear me
we went
now?
back. We are live. Yes, I can hear you now.
Computers
I can't. Wait, see. Yeah, I
are
can hear you
fun.
on the screen. Yeah, I would give it a few minutes to see how many people come back. You know what I was thinking we should do, Tom, in the morning?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we might want to like purchase options, like first thing in the morning, like 9:30. You know what I mean? We should like sit, because I think people will, if we're gonna enjoy the pain together, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Purchase options live every morning? Yeah,
Yes.
but that's day trading.
Well, why? We're not trading them every morning.
Well,
We're just buying them. You know how people on YouTube, they say they make all this money doing this, doing that, but no one ever really shows you. You know what I mean? We could show them.
Fixing technical difficulties.
You're still having problems again?
I'm not sure. All right, if anybody's out there, if they can hear me, just say hello, or that you can hear me.
I can hear you, Tom.
Take two of options trading. Take one.
By the way,
did not work.
Bit Farms. Does anybody notice? Bit Farm. We can hear you, Tom. That's what we just got. Bit Farms.
Thanks, Samuel.
$4.96.
Under $5. I know it blows.
When
my
are they
mind.
going to do their little presentation about their third quarter?
Sometime in the middle of November. So I don't
Dude,
think
they
they've
need to do
announced
it
the
today.
exact date yet. It's crazy. I bought some more today, as usual.
Yeah, I think you might have been a premature purchaser.
I don't care. I bought it 8 cents ago. It's not a big difference.
If I had your money, I'd burn mine.
Oh, brother.
So anyways, I think we can start to get back to options.
All right.
Okay, so I'm a novice, so Tom's going to teach me how to buy options. Tom.
I'm getting the final nod from tech support. There's a lot of buttons being pressed right now on my end of the world.
Can you tell me what a call is and what a put is? Where do you put your call?
All right, yeah. So you want to get started and we'll just talk about it a little bit? So
Yeah.
This was basically just going to be a options 101 type of a session just to introduce, because a lot of times I'll throw out in my videos, oh, you can buy an option on this, and I've never really gone through and explained what all that is. So, you know, some people are going to know, other people, you know, I want to do this first one just as a beginner level options kind of tutorial, just to introduce everybody to the concept. Some of you may already understand, but it'll be a refresher course. So
Might as well buy some on Bitcoin. I mean, Bit Farms.
that's what I
Or
was
as I
thinking.
like to say, barf.
I was going to show
Barf.
some of the bit
We
farms.
I lost you. I can't hear you.
I'm out. You can't hear me anymore.
I lost him. Oh, maybe they can hear you on here. Hang on. If I don't answer right away, it's because he's got a 30-second delay.
Can you hear? Can you?
There
hear
we
me,
go.
George.
Yes, now I can.
All right. So maybe we're back. Technical difficulties linger. Huh?
So we're gonna talk about.
Oh,
Hi, Tom.
thanks,
Thank you,
Manuel.
everybody.
Appreciate it. Hopefully you can hear me. I've been having audio problems.
Dude, I just missed a great buying session.
Great. All right. It sounds like we're back. All right. Let's take it from the top again. Shall we take 3?
Take 4.
So no more buttons, Stevie, because
I just lost you again, Tom.
okay, they can't hear me anymore.
George can hear you. They can hear you. Everything's fine.
Okay, we're good again.
Please. Okay. Our technical support is done pressing buttons. That's it. If this works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it sounds like you can hear me now. All right. So we wanted to talk options. I was going to use Bitfarms just as an example because most of the people that watch my channel know I basically buy Bitfarms almost every single day lately. So, and I do a lot of the options on Bitfarms. So I wanted to talk about what options are. So I'm just going to take it from the top. So with options, you have calls and you have puts. So a call, essentially, to make this simple, if you think a stock is going to go up, then you want to buy a call. And if you think a stock is going to go down, you want to buy a put. The other thing that you can do with puts, if you have a big position in something, let's say, you've got a lot of your portfolio in, I'm just going to pick Bitfarms since I happen to have a lot of my portfolio in Bitfarms, and you have the stock, you can buy puts as kind of insurance. So if you buy some put, let's say it's trading now at around $5. So if you're worried, something terrible could happen and Bitfarm could crash, then maybe you buy some out of the money $4 puts. And that way, if something were to happen to Bitfarms where it really crashed, once it gets down to as it goes down to $4, and then once it gets past $4, you're going to be making money in your option at the same time that you're losing money in the stock. Now, if the downturn is temporary, you hold the stock, you cash out the money that you made on your puts, and so that's kind of an insurance policy. That's one of the ways a lot of people use options. There are a million things that you could do with options, but I really first just want to talk about buying a call, selling a call, buying a put, selling a put, because that is step one. And really, a lot of people don't need to get past. A lot of people don't do options at all. So I have a lot of friends and family that think I'm nuts for even doing options. Having said that, I have a lot of viewers that sometimes give me comments of some pretty complicated options strategies. So I know some of you guys know exactly what you're doing. But I also know just from friends and family that a lot of people are just terrified of options and they just don't do it. So it's pretty simple, so I wanted to explain it. So I'm going to talk about calls. I'm going to focus on calls right now. What's the matter, George?
I'm looking at Bitfarm just plummet in front of my eyes.
Hold on. Let me go over to my screen here.
Sorry.
All right. Wow. That's a surprise. So, yeah. I should be, after the end of this stream, I'll be buying more Bitfarm just so that everybody knows.
This is not financial advice.
This is not financial advice, but that's what I will be doing. So I'm going to use this. I use Yahoo.
Is this crazy? Hang on, I got one for you. How come E-Trade has it at one price and then Schwab has it as another one? 1 penny apart.
I mean, it depends what kind of, especially since those are both owned by the same people, you would think they'd be identical.
E-Trade is owned by Schwab?
Oh, not E-Trade. No.
Right, okay. I just find that interesting.
All right.
Very interesting.
I'm going to go options. So this is Yahoo. I don't know, probably a lot of you guys know about this, at least if you don't use it. I find it an easy tool. Outside of my trading platforms, I have a few brokerages. I like to look at Yahoo because it's quick and easy. So what this is showing, I just hit the thing options. So whatever platform you're in, whether you trade on Robinhood or WeBull or any of the other many brokers out there, what you'll want to do is look at your options or option chain. And right now I'm looking at calls. So I like Bitfarms. I think it's going to go up despite the fact that it goes down every day. But I believe it's going to go up. So now there's a few decisions you have to make when buying an option. The first thing is short-term or long-term. So smaller companies like Bitfarms have monthly options. Larger companies, you know, in the Bitcoin mining sector, Marathon and Riot have weekly options. The bigger the company that you get, you know, all the large cap stocks, they typically all have weekly options with some trading volume. So that's what you want to see. On the smaller ones, you're going to have to go monthly because that's all that they offer. And on the bigger ones, you can go weekly. So for this basic purpose, we're going to look at, so you've got a pull down menu right here. And again, whatever platform you're in, it's going to be something very similar to this. You're going to have to pick the strike date that you want. So November 19th may seem far away, but it's less than a month away. And that is considered a very short-term option. The shorter term the option, the more risk that's involved in it, because the time decay is rapid on an option that has less than 30 days left. So there's a premium for options. You pay a premium, and that premium erodes as time erodes. And obviously on a 1 month option, that goes 6 times as fast as it does on an option that's 6 months out. So there's your danger. You know, that's kind of your first risk. So unless I'm absolutely certain of something, I try to stay away from weekly options for sure, because anything can happen in any given week. So, you know, don't put any money onto weekly options that you're not willing to lose. Having said that, on the flip side, if you are, you know, if you're not averse to risk, there's people that 10x their money on options, on weekly options, on monthly options. If you pick the right option on a lot of these meme stocks, you know, you can. I did, just as an example, because I don't really do this at all, but at the very beginning of AMC, I did, I can't remember what the strike point was, but basically it went up 1,800% in one day. So I sold it, and literally within 1 minute after selling that, they halted trading. So that's the other danger on these meme stocks. Then they halt trading, and all of a sudden, you know, the stock tends to drop quite a bit after that. So I kind of got lucky, and then I didn't mess with it anymore. I don't. That's not really how I invest. What's? Sorry, I got technical support happening here.
Again?
Yes. Is something not working?
Yeah, did you see Hut, Tom? Hut just getting destroyed now. Hut's down 7%. Hive is down 9%.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, this is like a total meltdown.
All right, let's see. Where's...
And here's the thing, if Bitcoin really hasn't moved, it's 58.5.
58.5 is down a little. It's been between like 58.8 and 59, you know, all. So that is a little bit below the bottom of its trading range all day today. But that's a drastic overreaction.
Hive is about ready to go down 10% for the day.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Unbelievable.
Hive's down 9.6%. That's crazy. So for any of you that don't know, George and I follow the Bitcoin miners very closely. So that's why we have our eye on those. Hut is down 7%. Hut had a gigantic run, so a little pullback makes sense. But it looks like possibly, use your own judgment, but maybe there's some buying opportunities here this afternoon. All right,
489. Bitfarm, sorry.
Back to what we're looking at. So I'm just going to use an example on Bitfarms. So if you do think that between now and November 19th, you know, if you're a Bitcoin believer and you think Bitcoin's going to have a big month, in addition to that, you also have to believe that the miners are going to follow along with it, because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But obviously, it helps a lot if Bitcoin is on the rise. Usually, the miners are on the rise. So, if you wanted to buy, let's pick this $5 option, since Bitfarms is now at $4.87. So this gives us the right on, this option is November 19th, so that's the date. The strike point is the dollar amount at which you're buying the option to buy the stock at. So this would be a November 19th, $5 strike point, and you're going to pay, the last price somebody paid was 55 cents. So for 55 cents, and these are sold in lots of 100, so 55 cents would be $55. So you would have the right to buy 100 shares of Bitfarms at $5. So why would you do that if it's at $4.89? Because if you buy a share of Bitfarms, if you buy the stock, it's going to cost you $4.89. But if you buy an option at 55 cents, you know, you could almost buy the option for, you know, 400 or 500 shares of stock for the same price as you could buy 100 shares of Bitfarms, buying the stock itself. However, you are betting that the price is going to go up, because on the expiration date, which in this case is November 19th, this option, if it hasn't reached the strike point, so if we're still at $4.90, this option will go to zero. So whatever money you invest, you need to be willing to lose. That's the difference. A stock, when it goes down, you can hold it forever and wait for it to recover. With an option, particularly a short-term option, you're taking a risk. And that's the risk. So you need to be willing to know that you're going to lose. You wouldn't want to invest the same amount of money in options. You know, if you were going to spend $1,000 on buying Bitfarms stock, it would be extremely risky to say, you know what, instead I'm going to spend $1,000 on November Bitfarm options. That's exponentially more risky than buying the stock. Yes, there is a lot more upside, but you're just as likely to have your money, your $1,000 go to zero in that month as well. So for a 55-cent premium, you know, if Bitfarms ran up to $6, you know, and Bitfarms was at $7.32 just in August. So that's, you know, that's $2, over $2 above this strike point. So if Bitcoin had a nice bull run and Bitfarms just went back to where it was in August, this 55-cent option would go up in value to probably over $2 or $2.50. Well, that's a 300 or 400% return on your investment in less than 1 month. So that's the upside of short-term options. The downside is if you, I don't want to say guess, but if you guess wrong, then you go to zero. So it's a much bigger risk-reward equation. So the way you can mitigate that is to go further out. I don't buy November options. I will say I do own some November options right now, so I shouldn't say that I don't buy them. But I buy them from a percent of my portfolio standpoint. It's a tiny percent because I know it's totally at risk. But I do buy, let's see, these are the February 2022 Bitfarm options. So now the thing that cost 55 cents that expired in a month, now if you go to February 18th, that is the date. And if you go to strike point of $5, that is the strike point, you'll see it now costs $1.54. So you're paying almost 3 times as much, but you have until February 18th, which is, 4 months away instead of 1 month away. So the probability, if you believe Bitfarms is going up, the probability that it's going to get where it's going in the next 4 months is substantially higher than the probability it's going to get there in the next 30 days, because in the very short term, anything can happen. And then obviously with weekly options, it's even much riskier. By Wednesday on a weekly option, you basically have 1 day left, because by Friday, with the time deterioration, your options, unless they're in the money, your options are worthless. So I don't even look at weekly options typically. So what I would do, what I own, is I own a lot of the $5 February 28th, 2022 strike point Bitfarms options. So that's my expiration date. I have until February 18th, 2022 for Bitfarms to do what I'm hoping it's going to do. And I have the right to buy these at $5. Now, the reality is you don't actually end up buying the stock. So this gives you the right to buy Bitfarms at $5. So if it were to go to $7 or $10, you know, you'd get that money. Let's say it goes to $7. There's $2 in between. But functionally speaking, what will happen is this $1.54 will go to $3 or $4, and you'll just sell the options. So you don't need to have the cash on the sidelines to actually execute all these options. Options are extremely rarely actually executed. What you're doing is hoping that you're buying them in a long enough time frame where the stock hits whatever price target you had in mind, and then you sell them at a gain, and you're out. And it's a leveraged play, so you're making, you know, you can invest 2 or 3 or 4 times as much potential upside, and you know, and the other thing is you've completely defined your downside, because the most you can do, whatever you invest, that's what you can lose. So and
Run, Bitcoin, run. Sorry.
And with options, you know, you kind of got to be ready to be willing to lose your investment.
And so, should you expect to hit on every single time you do an option, or do you think it is like it hits like 1 out of 5 times, 1 out of 6? You know what I mean?
I think that you've really got to have a plan if you're going to buy an option. So if you look at Bitfarms and you just go, I love Bitfarms, but you don't really know anything about the stock, and you pick a month and you pick a strike point, then you might as well be throwing darts at a board. But if you've got a plan, and you know, I have a price target for Bitfarms for February, and it's way more than $5. So I'm very comfortable buying the February $5 Bitcoins. Again, this is not financial advice, but I will tell you, I do own those. And I'll probably buy more just under the wire here today. So for me, if I think the stock is going, let's say for an example, my target is $10, then for I think my $1.54 at a $5 strike point, if it goes to $10, even on expiration day, that's still going to be worth $5, because it's $10, which is the stock price, minus $5, which is the strike point I can buy it at. There's a $5 spread in the middle, so it's at least going to be worth that $5. Now, if it hits that in December, there's still going to be a lot of time premium left in there, and it may go to $6 or $7. So now what I bought for $1.54, I may be able to sell for $6 in December or January. I don't have to wait until February to sell them. So to me, if you're out of the money and you have a stock that you understand, and you're willing, you know, if you're willing to invest in the stock, then these longer term options to me are lower risk, and yeah, you should hit. Obviously, there's one-off events. You know, if all of a sudden the entire market goes into a tailspin, then owning the stock is better, because no matter how low it goes, you can hang on to it until it comes back. But with options, you know, if we go into a recession and have 4, 5, 6 bad months, well, then all of everybody's options expire, and you lose your money. Now, there is the other side of this, which I'm not going to talk about today. So when you're buying an option, somebody else is out there selling it. So they're making the money that you're buying that with, but they're also running the risk that that option is going to get into the money. So there's a risk on the other side, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Today, what I want to talk about is buying options. So the process to do that is you go into options on whatever platform you're on, and you say buy to open. So when you're buying, you want to be very careful because there's a lot of different combinations and it may or may not default to what you want to do. So you want to double check. You want to double check here's your checklist. You want to double check the date. You want to double check the strike point. You want to double check that it's a call if you're buying calls. Then you want to double check that what else did we have? Okay, so that it's a call, and then you want to double check that you're buying to open. So you can sell to open. That's a totally different thing. And I know a lot of people, and almost everybody, honestly, almost every option trader at some point in their life has learned the mistake the hard way. They didn't double check all their settings and they did the wrong thing. They didn't do what they meant to do. So you want to double check the date, the strike point. You want to make sure it's a call, and you want to make sure you're buying it to open. Now, when the time comes and you've made your money, you're going to sell it to close. So you're opening the position when you buy it, just like a stock. You're opening the position when you buy it, and you're closing the position when you sell it. So you want to make sure when you sell to close. So right now we're talking about buying options. So what I am most likely going to do if I have the time today is buy some of these February 18th, 2022 Bitfarm $5 options. So I think that's a good value. Again, this is not financial advice, but I'm letting you know what I'm doing. Maybe some of you are more comfortable at $7.50 or $10 or $12.50 if you think that Bitfarms is going much, much higher. Because the further out of the money you are, the cheaper it is to buy the option. So you have to do the math on that yourself. It takes some experience. What I would recommend for people that are new at this is buy one option. Get used to this. Buy one option, play it out, sell it for a gain or a loss, just so that you've gone all the way through the process. And once you do it a few times, this starts to make common sense once you do this a few times.
Just so you know, Shiba just has a higher market cap than XRP right now.
Wow.
I know. It's up today 67%, just so you know. Sorry. Go Shiba.
Sorry, I'm just trying to read. I haven't had a chance to really read any of the comments, so I'm having trouble keeping up because I was just explaining.
Well, nothing really yet regarding, except the best one is I'm gay for Tom. I don't know what that means. I took it as I'm happy for Tom.
Yes. Well, I appreciate everybody being happy for me. I'm happy
2023 calls are such a gold mine. They are cheap, wasted. Okay.
So
I don't know what that means, but okay. Thank you, wasted. Wasted.
Let's look. Here's January 2023 Bitfarm calls.
They're that far out?
So yeah, now that's over a year from now. So, if you wanted to buy the $10, if you think in a year from now Bitfarms is going to be at $15 or $20, then you can
I'll be happy if it's at 5, Tom.
No, you won't. You'll be mad if it's at 5.
I can't believe I just bought another 2,000 and then Bitcoin went down again and now it's going down.
The problem today with the Bitcoin miners is they had a very modest reaction to the last few days' activity. So now they're catching up for it. So they're going down disproportionately. They're a leveraged play on Bitcoin anyway, so they're going to react more than Bitcoin itself. But some of these things, like Hut down 7%, I'm definitely going to be looking at that one as well. So that's really, I don't want to do too much here. That is the process of buying a call. So, and somebody had mentioned the January 23 calls. So here they are. At some point, a stock gets low enough that, it's not worth buying an option because the stock itself is already cheap enough. But for me, that's not true. I believe we're still in a bull run on Bitcoin. So I believe sometime over the next 2, 3, 4 months, we're going to have a very nice move to the upside. In addition to that, Bitfarms will be, and all the miners will be reporting earnings twice between now and then. So I think by the time that second earnings report comes out and Bitcoin has had 3 or 4 months to run, that's why I feel comfortable. That's my bull case for the February options. Some people may feel like February is still too soon and they want to go out further.
I think February's perfect because you know somebody will leak something.
Well, I mean, if you believe in the bull run, then most people think, it's going to happen between now and the first quarter of 2022. So that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Bitcoin's fighting to stay above 58,000. It's 58,335 right now. Dun 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 dun.
58,335. See, so it kind of trickled down. It spent most of the day very close to 59, and the stocks were behaving very well at 59,000. They were down a couple of points, but this run from 59 to 58, I think what everybody's afraid of is we're about to go test like 54. So
I can tell you one thing that gets me about this whole game.
Yeah.
I never thought we'd see bit farms below $5 again.
Never. Yes, that's one thing. Never say never in stocks.
Never say never in stocks.
And always keep some money on the sidelines so you can buy some more. I can't tell you guys what to buy, but for me, this is a no-brainer at $4.88.
That's insane, ain't it?
Well, we'll take a look. It's at an $813 million market cap right now. And
XRP's back over Shibi. Sorry.
I'm going to compare it to HUT, and nobody get mad at me because I like HUT. I own almost as much HUT, although I've taken some profits on HUT. Is really the difference between my Bitfarms and HUT position. HUT has had a nice run up and allowed me to take some profits, but you can see HUT is at almost it's down a little bit today, but it's at $2 billion market cap, while Bitfarms is at 800 million. So you can see why I feel that there's a lot more run left in Bitfarms. Having said that, a lot of people like to play the momentum play, and over the last 2 months, they'd be very right on HUT.
It's making a run. It's 58.5. I can't believe that little bit makes all the difference in the world right now in the mining stocks.
It shouldn't. It should not. $200 or $300 or even $500 in the price of Bitcoin should be absolutely meaningless in these miners. It's just more about sentiment of where people think everybody's worried that we're going to get this 20% correction. And
I have a question, and I'm sorry, and I got to think everybody's asking it. What in the world is up with Riot? Do we just give up?
Somebody spotted our dog. We have a dog. Her name is Lacey. It's my son's dog. So
we call that dog now Sheba. That's Sheba.
Oh, that's our
Tom. Is it true that you invented Sheba and you're just not telling anybody?
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny that. Although I can deny it.
But you can't confirm it either.
I can't
you can
confirm
tell
it,
everybody.
that's for sure.
Do it on the live stream right now. Tell it. It's okay.
That
you
is...
know that nobody knows who invented Sheba, Tom.
Well, you can rule me out.
Why?
Because I'm just telling you right now, I didn't invent it.
Yeah, see, now that sounds like something somebody would say who invented it.
I suppose that's true. We
may
guys, never
I'm...
know.
Okay. Okay. We're creeping back up. We just went over 58.5. Thank goodness. Now these guys should. Now Bitfarms is a good deal. Look at that. Why is it still down?
It's gonna be a down day. It's got momentum going now. So $4.88. It's incredible.
When do I buy more? How do you cost average back in, Tom?
I mean, everybody has to decide that for themselves. You got to look at your position. If your average is $4.90, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to average in if you've already filled your position. So the way I try to look at this is I have how much do I want when I'm done? If everything works perfectly, I want to accumulate X amount of this before it starts to run up. So if you're already at that number, it better be a really good deal to go over your maximum amount. And I will tell you, I do go over my maximum amount sometimes, and I have a couple right now, one of which is Bitfarms. I've gone past the maximum number that I intended to invest because you can see, I mean, at $4.88, in my opinion, this is wildly underpriced. And you only have to look to, I would tell everybody to look at what's happened with CleanSpark in the last month, because they're in a very similar situation. They're just a little bit out ahead of Bitfarms. So I'm looking at CleanSpark as a leading indicator on what Bitfarms should do if management can just speak up a little bit and get a little bit of the right word out there.
So the guy who didn't invent Shiba, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. What do you mean by that? What does that mean by management get out? And what does that mean? Maybe they should talk about you about not inventing an NFT like Hut just did. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
I'm just curious.
I don't know about Hut's NFT. I don't recommend that they get into that. Hut is killing it doing what they're doing, so they should stick to their core business. They've already done a good job diversifying. They're in ETH right now, mining as well. So Hut should just keep doing what they're doing. They're doing a good job. Bitfarms may also be doing a very good job, and I believe they are. They just aren't letting anybody know. They got to be more forthcoming with their information. They have a massive shelf offering of $500 million. That has everybody in a state of pure panic. It shouldn't, but it does. And that is why this price continues to tumble. But, you know, I've done the math in some of my videos. It doesn't make sense for the price to be this low, in my opinion. Having said that, if management would do something to give us an indication of what's going on, and I'll tell you what CleanSpark did. They have the same $500 million shelf offering, just like Bitfarms does. What they went out and did is the last batch of machines they bought with their Bitcoin instead of issuing stock and buying it with that money. So essentially, they said, without saying, they said, we're not selling our stock at $12. We'll sell our Bitcoin first before we sell our stock. And basically, from that moment, CleanSpark's been on a tear. So if Bitfarms were to send some signal to their investors that they're, you know, being judicious with that $500 million, now they're going to have to, this says earnings date somewhere between November 24th and November 29th, so they haven't announced their exact date yet. So sometime just about a month from now, they will have to give us an update on the shelf offering. But that leaves another month of lingering. So
Are they allowed to do like a thing, like do a filing to the SEC saying, FYI, shelf offering, this is what we've done, or we're going to close out our position in our shelf offering?
well,
or anything?
when the shelf offering is done, they have to tell everybody it's closed.
But can they give an update or no?
The SEC does not require an update, and all.
But
of
if
these,
they wanted to, they could.
yes, most
Okay.
of these companies don't want to. I actually, thanks for the question, Matt. I actually did call Bitfarms and I talked to investor relations there, and you know, he basically said we haven't disclosed that information, and anybody, because the reason that I called them, and I knew that they hadn't disclosed the information, but I just. Every day somebody posts something to me. Oh, I just found out that Bitfarms did this. They already bought this much. They already, you know, sold this much of their shelf offering or that much. And investor relations confirmed with me that that information is not available to anybody on this earth. So anybody that says they know what it is, they don't. And I don't. So,
Or let's go a little deeper. Or it's insider trading.
well, you know, I can't do anything about that, but
Did you see this? Is 58K is the bounce? Then this is a golden buy day. Do
Yeah.
you think it's gonna? Do you think 54 is in play yet or no?
We are at an absolute inflection point, and Matt is right. 58, somewhere around 57, 58 is one of the pretty strong lines of support. It went a little bit below my line, so I had a line at about 59.5 that it broke through. That was a little concerning to me, but it seems to be holding 58 really well. And yes, there's a very good chance this could be support and we could bounce from here. I think it's 50-50. A lot of the, I don't like to get too deep into a lot of the indicators. If you look at the indicators, it seems like, from a technical analysis, it seems like we're going a little bit lower. But I don't hang my hat on that because you can see how emotional Bitcoin trades and the Bitcoin miners trade. So I think we're just as likely to go up from right here as we are to go down. So I'm going to hope that Matt is right and 58 is support and we bounce from here. If it's not, then I think we go test 54. If we go below 54, then I start to get nervous. 54,000 represents a 20% correction.
I thought from the high, 60,200 is 20%. Sorry.
No, from the high.
From the high, that's 10%.
Right. From the high, 54,000 is 20% pullback from the brand new high that we just hit last week in Bitcoin. So
53,511 to be exact.
Yes. So if you watch my video, that's within like $50 of where my line is. So a 20% pullback in the world of crypto is not unusual at all. I'm still not expecting that. I'm a little bit ever the optimist, so I always feel like we're heading up from here because I know we're in the middle of a bull run. So, but that doesn't mean there can't be a pullback. 20% pullbacks are nothing in cryptocurrency. I mean, we've all seen things radically worse than that. So I'm not expecting, I think, to me, 20% will be a very strong pullback in the middle of this big bull run that we're in. So in my opinion, that's kind of the cap of it. I do also think there's a 50% chance that we're gonna bottom out right here at 58. So that's what I'm gonna hope for, but I'm gonna consider the rest of it a buying opportunity if that's what happens.
Will you talk about Shiba at all or no?
I cannot talk intelligently on Shiba, but what I will tell you is that I urge everybody to do the following, because these coins pop up like crazy. And then you see price targets, and a lot of these price targets seem extremely realistic. Like with Shiba, they're saying, oh, if it only just goes to 1 penny, we'll all be rich. But what I implore everybody to do is just go, it's very accessible, find the market cap of what the coin is right now. And then just do the math. If it was to go to a penny, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, let's go to a penny. I read an article today. Elon Musk says it's going to $1.23. Okay, well, that makes it the biggest asset in the world. So if you think that Shiba Inu is going to be more valuable than all the gold on Earth, then, buy it. But that's the judgment that I would use.
So 589.655 trillion coins, right? That's how many coins you made. I mean, that was circulated.
So at a dollar,
they have a 73.49 billion market cap as we speak.
73 billion market cap, and how much are they worth right now?
0.00074.
So think about what their market cap's going to be at a penny.
Oh my goodness,
astronomical.
Yeah.
So if you think it's
like
going to pass
$10 trillion,
right? Is it
like $10 trillion?
So that's what you got to ask yourself, because it's an easy sales pitch to go, oh, buy Shiba. All it has to do is go to a penny and you'll get rich. But if you just take one step further and do the math, you'll see it's not going to a penny. Unless you believe that this is the most important asset on Earth. And if it is, well, then it is going to a penny. But I find no inherent value in Shiba that makes it the most valuable asset on Earth. Dogecoin was the same thing. Now, can you make some money in the short term as these run up a little bit? Yes, that's for sure. These things pump, but they're usually pump and dump. So you just got to be really careful. Like, there's no Shiba, in my opinion, and you guys can let me know if you know something I don't. I don't think it has any intrinsic value. I don't think there's any worth there. So, you know, it's not like Ethereum that, you know, is a platform that's used that has a lot of utility. So to me, it's just how much, you know, does the euphoria run that up before it tops out and crashes. So I don't like to guess that. The stock market's already hard enough as it is, so I don't try to guess when coins are going to run up or down, because you're just as likely to lose a bunch of money as you are to gain your money, or at least that's been my experience.
Okay, cool.
I'd rather buy Bitcoin because I have a conviction in Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin's going to much higher levels, and I believe that there's a reason it's going there. So, or Ethereum also. So those, you know, those are the two biggest ones, obviously, and I have some conviction in those two. So again, I gotta say it's not financial advice, but those are the two I like. There are others, but Shiba Inu is not one of them.
All right, so you're not going to admit to inventing it. I gotcha. That's it. That's all I got for today. Anything else you can think of?
All right, that's it. Hopefully that was of some use to somebody regarding options.
We're going to have to do another one because we're going to have to get a little bit more advanced.
All right.
You missed a lot of stuff.
Well, we just scratched the surface. We just did the very simplest example of buying a call option. So there's a lot more to follow. If you got, you know, if you guys are interested in more complicated options trading strategies, just let me know, and we'll do another live stream and talk about it.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Tom.
All right, thanks a lot. Have a great day, everybody.